And again, this new one, of course, like the all package inserts have, this new one also has section 13.1, which is admitting that it has not ever been tested for safety. Carcinogenesis, mutagenesis, impairment of fertility. Averex, which is this new RSV vaccine that they're giving to babies, has not been evaluated for carcinogenic or mutagenic potential or for impairment of male fertility. Has not been tested for safety. Anytime you hear somebody, a doctor or fake nurse or somebody in a white lab coat or a commercial of somebody trying to sell it to you, or a politician, which we are seeing a lot of, politician pushing drugs, injections, and they're like, it's safe. Well, the package insert says otherwise. You can't say it's safe. Has not been tested. And again,
message. It is Friday, June 20th, Informed Consent Friday. I want to talk to you about the new RSV vaccination that was just approved for neonates and infants. I just wrote a Substack article on this. Go to Substack RX for Liberty for a more detailed explanation. Here's the package insert. Ready? Let's go. This product is indicated for RSV protection for neonates and infants who are born during or entering the RSV season. It's called influenza. Section 11, under description or ingredients, monoclonal antibody produced in recombinant Chinese hamster ovary cells. Of note as well, it contains polysorbate 80. Polysorbate 80 is a chemical that has been shown to be associated with cancer. Section 12.2, duration of protection. Based on clinical data, the duration of protection is 5 months. The studies that brought this to market only studied about 2,400 patients in the treatment group. And then importantly, ICANN, Informed Consent Action Network, properly points out, in the original trials, twice as many infants died in the influenza group versus the placebo group. Yet, Merck stated that, quote, no deaths were considered related to the study intervention by the investigators, close quote. They go on to say that the safety profile was, quote, generally comparable to placebo, close quote. Never mind that RSV is generally mild in healthy infants and adults for that matter, and there are no long-term safety studies with this RSV vaccine. The RSV vaccine history has been tragic. In the 1960s, an RSV vaccine was rolled out that led to enhanced respiratory disease and even deaths in infants. This phenomenon was known as antibody-dependent enhancement. Unfortunately, many of these vaccines, including RSV, in my opinion, is driven by profit, not pediatric necessity or safety. We are now, unfortunately, injecting the most fragile humans with new, inadequately studied vaccines for an illness that is rarely severe.
so there's this rule in the occult, which is what all the governments of the world are in, all the powers and authorities are in and worship, and then gather us, the little negligent sheep who don't know better. There's a rule that they must give the truth, but promote the lie, and they must, because they have the belief in karma, karmic punishment if they don't let the truth out, but promote the lie. And you could see in the package insert is the truth is there. It's not been tested for safety, and of course injecting, like the doctor said, all those chemicals, it's like a witch's brew, and it can damage your cells, it can cause cancer, it can mess up your fertility, it can do so many horrible things, because it's like a witch's brew, a dash of kidney cells, a dash of chemicals, a dash of viruses, a dash of this, a dash of that, and like a witch's cauldron, and shoot it right into your blood. Nothing different than witchcraft. Now, yeah, they have to allow the truth to be known, but continuously promote the lie, because they believe in a karmic punishment. If they don't, then they know they're going to be punished, but they know the fall of, the angels rebelling against God. They already know that they are doomed. They just hope, and they want to take humanity with them, and they just wish, or they hope, that their punishment won't be as bad if they follow some cosmic law of karma. I highly doubt God's going to even lighten up because they slipped out, let the truth out in little tiny ways, but promoted a lie. So a man said, I recently heard, that vaccines have become the new ritualistic cleansing, religious, ceremonial crap. And it's true, because you're considered unclean if you didn't inject poison into yourself. You were banned from everywhere. I was banned from everywhere for not poisoning myself. Ritualistically, poisoning myself as if it would make me healthy and clean. So I was banned from sports. I was banned from anywhere indoors, except places I would spend money. Anywhere I could, shopping malls, I wasn't banned from, because, they want your money, and grocery stores and stuff. But everywhere else, was not allowed in. Was not allowed to Christmas fairs, was not allowed to sit down in restaurants, was not allowed to sit down in the food court in the mall, was not allowed to take my kids to their basketball or hockey, wasn't allowed in the arenas, banned, just banned. So I was considered ritualistically unclean. Just like, they created their own rituals, which is vaccines. People just do it without even thinking, because they're told to. It's a ritual. So the God of this world, this is why you should not listen to anything mainstream, nothing on the news, no politicians, white coats, big pharma. John 16:11 of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. He is, he knows it. So he's trying to take humans with him to hell. 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world, which is the enemy, which is known as Satan or Lucifer, the cult God, little g God, has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can make your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this world of darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms. So the rulers and the authorities are ruled by the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms. Makes it pretty darn clear. They have a little g God they worship and they take orders from. And his name's Satan, Lucifer, the enemy, the accuser. There's a few names. But yeah, they've been blinded. Again, vaccines are like a ritualistic cleansing ritual, which has been absolved. There's no cleansing ritual. None. There is none. Not like, the old days where the priests had to get themselves ritualistically cleansed just to enter the presence of God. Of this world, you have to inject poison just to be able to enter in normal society, to be allowed. Remember the woman who had a female problem of continuous periods, and she was not allowed to be around anyone else or in society. She was an outcast of society because she struggled with woman problems, and Jesus healed her completely. So they try to have their own ritualistic purity cleansing, which includes witch's brew cauldron, all this crap, cell lines, cancer cell lines, kidney cell lines, chemicals, SV40, polysorbate 80, all this shit that'll make you sick, so that you can participate and you're considered clean in society. It's disgusting, truly. It's like a demonic cleansing ritual.